Hello girls, and welcome to PCNS Bootcamp 2021, and I am teaching you the tips and tricks of jump rings. So my name is Ruth Albertine, and I'm happy to be here. This is my first time doing this kind of tutorial, so bear with me and we will learn together. The first thing I want to go over, I believe, is, well, these are my jump rings. They come in all different sizes. I have them starting from 4mm to 8, 10, and I even have these large 12mm ones. And then here I have some 5, some 7s in different colors. And these are all 6mm, from a bright silver to a dull silver, gold. It's like a gunmetal, and then bronze. These I believe I got on AliExpress. And I've got them all different places, Michael's, Joann's, AC Moore, which no longer is open, but I've had them for a while. So these are the jump rings, which I'll get into in a minute, because I need to go over our tools. Because the tools are the most important thing. These are the first set that I bought, and this is the bent chain nose plier. This is a chain nose plier, and these are a side cutter. And these are a long nose pliers. I basically really use these for picking up steel stuff or something stuck in somewhere, but I never use them for jewelry because they're really too long and too hard to use. But these are my go-tos every day. I use this for everything, these two pliers here. These are a round nose plier, which I bought in a set with these flat nose pliers, which I really like these for when I'm trying to flatten something out. These work really, really well for that. And this one, I don't like the handle as much. It's harder to hold, but I do use this one. But that brings me to my ergonomic handle ones. This one is the chain nose, but I don't like, this one is a much bigger nose than this one here that I have. I don't know if you can see the difference. One's much smaller than the other. So I use this one all the time, but I don't like this one, so I don't use that one. This is a really good side cutter. It's great for getting in. It's hard to get into small places, but it does cut really well. And these I use all the time too. These are my round nose pliers. This is what I make my eye pins with and my loops when I'm attaching dangles and chains and things. These are nylon jaw pliers, and you use these to, if you don't want to damage some of your wire, if you're doing like wire wrapping or any kind of wired work, these work really well. They're also very good if you happen to have a piece of chain that's like all crooked and out of shape like this here. You take this and you just run this along the chain, and as you can see, it straightens it right out. And also when you have a softer wire, this is I think a 24 gauge wire. They're very soft and pliable. As you do this and you continue to do this with it strengthens this wire and makes it a little bit tougher and harder to bend. Makes it stronger. So I do use this one. Don't use these as much. This one here is great if you want to actually curl your wire. You just take that and you run it like this. And see how it curls that wire really well. I don't know if I'm in camera here. I'm not used to this, like I said. So let's see, it curls your wire really well. So these are good because they don't damage your wires. This is a side cutter, and this one's got a much smaller tip and much easier to get into. And when you want to cut your wires, if you want to cut off the edges of the end of your wire wraps, you have to just be very careful, because when you cut these, I always put my cutter and I hold this end, this extra piece here, and hold it away, because this little thing can fly and get in your eye and cause major damage. You have to be very careful when you're cutting your wires. This is a crimper, which crimps. They have little crimp beads that you can put on the ends of wires that hold on your beads. We'll do this in my next tutorial, which will be on the dangles, but I'll show you how to use that then. These here are wire loopers, they're called. And if you have trouble making like eye rings, or when you're putting beads on head pins and you want to make that loop at the top, these will do that for you. This is like a 1.5mm. If you could see that right here, this little pin, that's where it actually makes wraps the wire. And this is a 3mm. This one's a little bit bigger, and this is a 1.5. That's 3. there's a little learning curve to them. It's not that bad. They do come in handy. You take, I'll show you. This is the head pin, and I will add a bead to it, like that. Well, not that bead because it went right through. I'll do a bigger head pin. There we go. So you put on your bead, and what you do is you take this wire now and you put it underneath that little loop and on top of these two little things. This section right here, this little part right here, let me get my pokey tool. This little part right here, this will actually cut the wire. Then back here is a little hole that you put that wire through. So you push this with the bead all the way up to the end of that mechanism, and then you squeeze. And as you squeeze, it cuts this wire, see? And then you tighten this, and that will create the loop. And you pull it off. Oh, I tightened it too much. And then you have your loop there, if you can see that. I'm hoping you can see this stuff because, like I said, it's the first time I've done it. The only thing that I find when using these loopers, it leaves space between the bead and the top of the loop. Can you see that? How it moves? I mean, it's not bad, but I like mine a little bit tighter, and I've gotten used to making my own loops, so I make my own. So that's a small one. I'll show you again. We'll use an eye pin on this one. Take another bead. And this is with a 3mm. And once again, you're going to lay that wire right up against here. Put it through that hole. Hold that bead there. And you twist it. It cuts the wire. And then you tighten. And it'll make that loop. And as you can see, that makes a much bigger loop. And what you can do is you can take this, and I just tighten up that loop like that. If you have problems making these eye pins or making your loops on the tops of your beads, this is a great way to use that. These little tools do come in handy, and they are much easier. And since doing these tutorials, I've practiced a couple of times, I'm actually kind of liking this a little bit more, and I may use these more often than not. Now, getting back to jump rings. Here's a different size jump rings. There is a wrong way, a right way and a wrong way, definitely, to opening and closing jump rings. I'll use these 6mm so you can see what we're doing here. I'll take a 6mm jump ring. Now you look for I always use two pliers. You look for that opening. That opening is right here. You can see that. That opening's right there. You grab your other pliers, and you never ever do this. Never open them like this. Okay, when you open up a jump ring like this, it's forgetting that this curve here, this has a memory. Wire has a memory, and it'll remember where it's supposed to be. When you open it this way and open them up, you're breaking that memory. So then it'll never go back and be where it was. So now this isn't any good. So we throw that away. When you take a jump ring, like I said, you look for the opening there. And with your left hand, you're going to move away from you, and your right hand towards you. So you're just going to open it up this way. So you open it like that. I don't know if I can see. Yeah, you open it like that. So then once you have that open, you take your bead, your eye ring there, you loop it on there. Then now you're going to reverse it. So you grab those two wires, and I'm trying to get a good place so you can see what I'm doing here. Then you bring them back, and then you just give it a little wiggle like this, and it just remembers where it's supposed to be. And that's how you put it on your jump ring. Sometimes I flatten it, make sure these are good together here. And that's it. I'll do it one more time. So you take your jump ring, and you go to the left, one away and one towards you, like that. So you're not interrupting this memory down here. Put on your ring onto your loop. Then you're going to take the left and bring it back to your right and give it a little wiggle. And then that's how you have your jump rings attached. It's as simple as that. Probably doing a really lousy job of keeping this in view, but I'm trying, girls. So that's how you attach the jump rings. And I think that's it. And next time, my next video will be making dangles, and I'll get into more about rings and how you put them on and take them off. And we're going to make cute little tassels. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching. See you later.